Hello vinyl community, it's Bill here again, and today I'm going to do our corporate quarterly report on acquisitions. So thanks to all my new subscribers. There's been a flurry of activity on the subscription front, so thank you very much for that, and I hope you enjoy this video. And keep watching to the end, because I've got a big thank you and 3 special albums to show, because I was lucky enough to have my name drawn for winning a contest, a vinyl community contest. So great fun. And so we're actually going to start with a Q2 acquisition that I forgot to show in the last episode. So this is the Smiths, The Queen is Dead, Morrissey, Johnny Marr and co at their finest. There'll be quite a competition for what's the best Smiths album. I think this is up there. I love, frankly, Mr. Shankly, The Queen is Dead, and Vicar in a Tutu is a fantastic title for a track. So yeah, I like their tongue-in-cheek lyrics, and yeah, Some Girls Are Bigger Than Others. I think that was a hit single. So there we have the Smiths, Queen is Dead, and yeah, an omission from my Q2 report. So let's put that right. Then I think one of the best albums of this year, the Black Keys Delta Cream. And yeah, Crawling King Snake is a fantastic opening track. But yeah, we've got Do the Romp, Mellow Peaches, Come On and Go With Me. So these are all great 21st century blues. And yeah, Dan and Patrick and Eric and Kenny do a great job on this. Yeah, Delta blues, but with a 21st century twist. And I really love this. If you want a side competition, see how many times I say fantastic today. So let's go with a fantastic album. And this is The Shadows' greatest hits. And I think this is their first greatest hits album. Look at that track listing: Apache, Man of Mystery, FBI, Kon-Tiki. Yeah. And 36, 24, 36. What could that be referring to? Yeah. And there's a couple of tracks from The Young Ones, and The Boys is on this as well. So tracks from 1960, 61 and 62. And I think there was a Shadows 20 greatest hits released in the early 70s, but this is the original. And yeah, this is a great, fantastic album. Of course, there's not a lot of vocals on this. In fact, I don't think there's any. And yeah, Hank Marvin, he is quite influential guitarist. And I think I just realized, maybe people keep me right here, but Neil Young's song with the, I'm not sure if it's the name of the song or it's the lyric, but it goes from Hank to Hendrix. Now, originally I thought the Hank he was referring to was Hank Williams, the great country artist, but it could be Hank Marvin. And let's want to speak about this as well, because Hank played the Fender Stratocaster, and back in 2004, can't believe it was this long ago as that. There was a special concert at the Wembley Arena in London, and a great lineup. And it included Hank Marvin doing a solo, and there was also the Crickets. And I couldn't believe that I was in an auditorium with the guys that had played with Buddy Holly. That kind of blew my mind away. But Brian May was there. There was a great house band. They also had Paul Rogers from Free, and Jamie Cullum did a number, and one of the guys from the Eagles. His name escapes me, but yeah, the guy that had the solo hits as well. But yeah, it was really good. And Jamie Cullum did a number, and we'll come back to a young lady that I saw in concert as part of this Strat Pack. I think you can get a DVD of it. Keep looking for me in the audience, but it couldn't be found. And Brian May plays in the concert. We kept hoping that Eric Clapton might do a turn, but he didn't. The Shadows' greatest hits, that was bought in St. Helier in Jersey, in the Channel Islands, and I was fortunate enough to be there on holiday. But there was a really nice record shop up on the hill. I think the street was called La Colomberie or something like that, something French. The record shop I was looking for didn't exist any longer, but I managed to pick up 2 records from that store. So happy crate digging. And this was the second one I picked up. It's the Collector's Series, and it's Chicken Shack. And that is the band that had Stan Webb, but Christine Perfect, later to be of Fleetwood Mac, was one of the band. And she does a great version of I'd Rather Go Blind on this album. Quite a nice gatefold. Lots of really good blues stuff. I'm not sure, there's quite a few original compositions on this. The Way It Is, Tears in the Wind, Some Other Time, Andalusian Blues. But there's also Crazy About You Baby, which is a Sonny Boy Williamson's number. And we've also got The Letter and Lonesome Soul Blues. Now, I have another Collector's Series one featuring them. And I think there's quite a few in a series that probably are highlighting or spotlighting British blues bands. So, but there's a slight irritation with this album. You get a lot of the in-studio banter and silliness, or Stan Webb or maybe some of the others putting on silly voices. So once you get into the blues tracks, it's fabulous. It's fantastic. But the sort of studio chat and them trying to be funny, yeah, it just irritates me a bit. But the music is great. Now, the next album I'm going to show is one that I had in the collection, and I let it go. I sold it, but saw this in one of the local Aberdeen record stores, Made in Vinyl, and they have a Facebook page, and it was Captain Lockheed and the Starfighters. Nice embossed cover with the Lockheed Starfighters, as if they're like flying ducks on above somebody's mantelpiece. On the back, you can see that they're smashed to smithereens. It's a gatefold with, I think, a portrait of Robert Calvert, and there's actually a booklet, or should I say it's the script, because this is the story. Well, Robert Calvert was one of the members of Hawkwind, and this was released in '74, and it's not like a rock opera, but it's got a narrative to it, and it's about the Lockheed starfighters that kept crashing. They nicknamed it the Widowmaker. I think that's the name of one of the tracks in this. But Robert Calvert and friends put on some German accents and American sort of Lockheed sales people accents as well. And it's, yeah, I really enjoyed listening to this again. It's, I think, on a CD issue of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do by Hawkwind, they include Ejection and Catch a Falling Starfighter. And so, yeah, there is a strong Hawkwind connection. But great to have this one back in the collection. Not sure how often I'll play it, because you have to sit down and listen to both sides and pay attention to the story. So nice sort of shiny graphics of the almost the Red Baron typeface. There we go. Really good album, this. I would, you see it in your travels looking through record shops and maybe bargain bins, or maybe not so bargain bins, but to pay £17.50 for this. But great pickup from Maiden Vinyl in Aberdeen. And then I got a couple of CDs to show you. This one is Belleville Rendezvous, and it's a film by Sylvain Chomet, a soundtrack composed by Ben Charest. And I would thoroughly recommend the animated film. It's about, well, Tour de France, and there's a granny coaching her grandson to become a cyclist for the Tour de France, and there's mafia connections, etc., and some really nice sort of ragtime jazz, and yeah, some very evocative percussion, sort of rain pipes and drain pipes, and yeah, I don't know if you can hear in the background, it's a pretty miserable rainy day here in Scotland. In fact, if you watch closely, you might see some drips coming from the ceiling of the inlay. But yeah, it's yeah, there's some kind of got sidetracked there, but yeah, there's some really nice percussion on this and sort of ragtime New Orleans type jazz. Now, I spoke about a young lady that was on the Strat Pack show. I'm not sure it was really her place, and I'm not sure if she got a good response or not. But the lady in question was Amy Winehouse. I think she sang a couple of numbers. So yeah, when people are looking for rock and the Crickets and Brian May, etc., they maybe weren't up to hear the wonderful vocals of Amy Winehouse. Got this in the local supermarket, the one with the orange sort of logos. Other supermarkets are available, but this is called The Collection. So we've got, yeah, let me open it and show you the individual CDs. So we've got Frank, we've got Back to Black, So this has got Rehab on it and Back to Black, Me and Mr. Jones, really nice number. Then we have Amy Winehouse, Lioness, Hidden Treasures. I have this album on CD already, but it's got Valerie, the 68 version. It's got The Girl from Ipanema, and Our Day Will Come, and Body and Soul, which you'll also find on Tony Bennett's Duets Volume 2. So yeah, this is a nice album. And then we've got a remixes and a live concert from 2007. And this has got Valerie and Hey Little Rich Girl and Back to Black, Monkey Man, Rehab. All these great tracks are on this great collection. I said you had to wait to the end to hear about 3 more acquisitions. Now, all those previous acquisitions I had to pay money out of my own pocket for, and I think it was a good investment. But there's nothing more pleasing to a Scotsman, and even more so to an Aberdonian, than to get something for free. Well, I did have to take it to part and do a video for Randy Nelson's Let's Travel competition. So I showed some Eurythmics and spoke about the waters of Aberdeen. I think that's a lyric from a Bob Dylan album. So I think there were 40 odd people made a video, and then I was pleasantly surprised when I watched the video with the cap and all the names put into the cap, and then Randy, lo and behold, drew my name out of the cap. So thank you, Randy. I think the winning prize was $75 US worth of Amazon vouchers or PayPal or something like that. And that's translated into 55 Great British pounds. So thank you very much again, Randy. Please subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy, and even greater since I won his competition. So I got 3 classic rock albums. So they'd been on my wish list for a long time. So we had Pink Floyd's The Wall. Obviously, this is a reissue. Nice gatefold with Gerald Scarfe cartoons and inner sleeves with the lyrics. And yeah, you don't need no education to know that this is a classic album. And my brother and I were very fortunate. Well, we had to pay a pretty penny back in the day, but we were very fortunate to see Pink Floyd perform The Wall at Earl's Court in London. So that is my ticket from Earl's Court, and it was 1980, 5th of August 1980, and the price was £8.50 plus VAT. But I can't remember what the rate of VAT was back in 1980. I don't know if it was 10%, 5%, or 12.5% or whatever. A map of Earl's Court in the back so that you can find your way to your seat. And I think we were fairly near the back, but we watched them build the wall on stage. There was flying pigs. There was a Spitfire that came from the back of the hall, crashed near the front of the hall. There was all that animation with flowers and marching hammers, etc. Thoroughly enjoyable evening. And I'm grateful to Randy for enabling me to purchase that double album. And another one on my wish list or want list was American Beauty by the Grateful Dead. This is a 50th anniversary collector's edition, the essential album on 180 grams vinyl. I'm not sure, I think it's still just, yeah, still black vinyl, but Warner Brothers, and yeah. I'm tempted to say fantastic again, but this is maybe not typical Grateful Dead, but it's a wonderful mellow country rock album. And Jerry Garcia, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir, Mickey Hart, Robert Hunter is a songwriter in this, and Bill Kreutzmann on drums. And great track listing here: Box of Rain, Friend of the Devil, Sugar Magnolia, that's just a really nice mellow track. The Candyman Can, and yeah, Trucking, Attics of My Life. Very strong album. I think the Rolling Stone record guide only gave this one 3 stars. And I think they're often a bit, mean with their issue of stars. I think there's lots of other albums where they get 3 or 4 stars, and in my mind, they're 5 stars. But that just proves that don't listen to the critics always. Make your own choices, make up your own mind. And yeah, there's a lot of good albums out there. 55 quid, 55 Great British pounds. So I was able to get 3 albums. Thanks again, Randy. And the last one was Band on the Run. This is remastered at Abbey Studios edition. And I don't know if you've watched on Disney Plus the McCartney 321 TV series. I think there's 6 episodes with Paul with Rick Rubin, who was a great hip hop producer, and also the man that got awards for putting Johnny Cash with a guitar in front of a microphone. The American Recordings albums are just fabulous. So, but on that, he does speak at one episode. He mentions about going to Lagos in Nigeria, and he ran into a bit of trouble. So some of his demos for the band to hear disappeared, so that were taken from him. So there's maybe some person somewhere in Africa with a copy of a cassette with Paul McCartney's demos for Band on the Run. But Band on the Run, great opening. So yeah, so that's it for Q3. And I hope you've enjoyed watching this video.